I saw a man die once, a man named Stephen. I wish I could forget it, but I can't. The sound of the stones hitting him, the way his body shook, the blood pooling in the dirt. It's burned into my mind, but the thing I remember most, his face. It wasn't twisted in pain or fear. It was calm, like he wasn't even afraid to die. I was there that day, standing with the crowd. I wasn't throwing stones, but I wasn't stopping it either. None of us were. We just watched, and to be honest, most of us thought he deserved it. It started earlier that week. Stephen was one of those Jesus followers, and he wouldn't stop talking about him. At first, people ignored him, but then he started speaking in the synagogue, challenging the teachers, saying things that made people angry. They tried to argue with him, but he was smart, too smart. He knew the scriptures inside and out, and every time they tried to trap him, he had an answer. So they did what people do when they can't win an argument. They lied. They told everyone Stephen was saying terrible things about God, that he was trying to destroy our laws and traditions. They stirred up the crowd, and before long, the religious leaders had him arrested. He didn't even fight it. Just let them drag him in front of the council. I was there in the crowd when they put him on trial. They brought in false witnesses, people who twisted his words to make him sound like a blasphemer. But Stephen didn't look scared. He just stood there, listening. And then, when they finally let him speak, he didn't beg for his life. He started telling a story. It was our story, the story of our people, from Abraham to Moses to the prophets. He reminded us how time and time again we rejected the ones God sent to us, how we turned away, killed the prophets, refused to listen. And then he looked straight at the leaders and said, "You're just like them. You killed the righteous one, Jesus." That's when everything exploded. People started shouting. Some covered their ears like they couldn't stand to hear another word. Someone grabbed him, then another. They dragged him outside the city, and by then we all knew what was about to happen. Nobody even tried to stop it. The first stone hit his shoulder. He stumbled but didn't fall. Another one struck his leg, then his back. More and more until he was on his knees. And then the strangest thing happened. His face lit up. I don't mean he smiled, I mean lit up, like he was seeing something none of us could see. And then he said, clear as day, "I see heaven open and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God." That made everyone even angrier. The stones came harder, faster. But Stephen didn't scream. He didn't curse us. He just said, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." Then he fell to the ground, and his last words were, "Lord, don't hold this sin against them." And then he was gone. I don't know why, but those words wouldn't leave me alone. Don't hold this sin against them. Who says that? Who asks God to forgive the people killing them? That day, I thought Stephen was a fool. I thought he threw his life away for a lie. Now, I'm not so sure. True faith stands firm, even in the face of death. Stephen remained faithful to his beliefs, even when falsely accused and facing execution. Instead of responding with anger or fear, he forgave his enemies and trusted in God until his last breath. His story shows that standing for truth may come with a cost, but in the end, faith, courage, and forgiveness leave a lasting impact, even on those who oppose us.